So I've been getting a lot of questions lately around metamorphosis and continuity compared to the online studio. And folks have been asking me, which one do you like better? And although I am very quick to share my own personal opinion, I don't think it's fair for me to just give what I prefer. So I wanted to create a video around comparing the two, the pros and cons of each. If you're new here, my name's Rachel. Each week I create content around the things I'm doing to really help me live a happier, healthier lifestyle. And a lot of the time that's around Tracy Anderson, because I used to work out all the time. I used to diet all the time. And honestly, it was doing more harm than good. So since finding the Tracy Anderson method, it's really been a miraculous transformation for me in more ways than one. So I create a lot of videos on it because it's not so intuitive. There is a learning curve. There's also times where you're going to want to throw in the towel. Anywho, I found myself making a lot of content around Tracy Anderson. As you can tell, I'm a big fan. So about 2 years ago, I did Metamorphosis for the first time, was amazed by my results, made a video on that, absolutely loved it, and then I went to her online studio program. I did Online Studio Intermediate, which is her mat class that takes about an hour. Online Studio is essentially her latest content. That is her platform. That is her current stuff, the current method. And as much as I love Online Studio, I found it was a little intense for me. I also missed the way of Metamorphosis, which is based on body type, and that there's a plan in place. I really missed that. So probably 6 months ago, I went back to Metamorphosis, and I have a video sharing why I did that. After completing Metamorphosis again for the second time, doing Abcentric, I continued on to Continuity, the program that really is an extension of Metamorphosis, but for about 3 years and a quarter. So in total with Metamorphosis and Continuity, you're looking at 3.5 years of content, which is unbelievable that somebody would put all that content together, not only for one workout program, but for 4 different body types. I think it's 4 different body types. Although I'm due for an update around just continuity in general, I'm still very happy with my decision. But there's things I miss about Online Studio. And there's plenty of people that have gone back to Metamorphosis only to find out that they prefer Online Studio. So everyone's different. So let's just look at the two. When it comes to Online Studio, you're getting Tracy's latest content. You're also able to be plugged into the community. So you can follow other Tammers on Instagram. You can message each other for tips, for encouragement. That is one of the things I absolutely miss, because whenever new content would be dropped on Online Studio, there was a sense that you were enduring it with everybody else. You're going through the journey with everybody else. And that's one of the big things I miss. Now, there's times where people will comment on some of my videos around Online Studio or the community, and they think it's so cheesy. You know, these are people that really haven't been in Tracy Anderson. They think it's cheesy. I can see as an outsider how it would appear cheesy. But when you're working out alone and you're doing these challenging workouts and you're having setbacks and confusion, you need support. And I'm so impressed with how supportive and loving and non-judgmental the community is. So it's unfortunate that some people have a poor perception of it. I can understand why. I would probably think it was cheesy if I didn't get it. But that is one of the things I absolutely miss that I don't have by doing Metamorphosis and Continuity. Also, Online Studio has so much content. Last time I was on there were things like standing abs and low impact dance cardio and arms and abs, and in addition to the lanes of beginner, intermediate, and advanced. So much content on there. And the biggest thing I miss that Online Studio has that Metamorphosis and Continuity don't have is Online Studio has a breakdown. Where you'll have some of the trainers walking you through how to do the moves and what's important about the moves. That's something that you don't get with her old content. I also miss the end of class chats that Tracy had. But now she's sending out emails every week with some guidance and some things to think about. So that's been really filling that void for me, but it's something I certainly miss is her post-chat talks. But the big reasons why I left online studio, and this is where her old content really fills a void for me, is when I was doing intermediate, there wasn't a plan. It wasn't based on my body type, which is something that was a downside for me. I really liked how her old stuff was suited for my abcentric body type. In addition, it was too intense. So I was doing intermediate, which is an hour-long mat class, and there were some weeks where I was stressing myself out because it was just a long, arduous workout. I dreaded it a lot of the time. Now, I could have gone to beginner, but I felt like I wasn't challenging myself enough. So that just gives you a sense of the pros of online studio that I miss, and then the reasons why I ultimately left online studio. But again, my reasons for going to her old content may not be reasons for other people to leave. It's really just a personal preference. Now that I'm 2 months into continuity, the mat workout itself is still 30 minutes. The amount of dance cardio I do really varies from week to week. It really depends on my energy levels and how much I have going on. I've talked a lot about how I've really been swapping in long walks for dance cardio, but there's even a lot of days where I do the mat workout and that's about it. I'm really trying to have a greater balance and get more movement in throughout the day, but it just, for me right now, it just varies. So it's so much more reasonable for me to get in a 30-minute workout. I love that it's tailored to my body type. I am still seeing results, and I love that there's a plan. I love that I have this timeline of basically in total 3.5 years. That's really cool. But there's still setbacks just like any other workout program. There are some weeks where I look at myself and I'm like, am I getting results? And then other weeks where I'm like, this is absolutely incredible. I cannot believe how great I look for as low strain as these workouts are. And that really just opens up a whole nother conversation, and something that I've really become aware of in my Tracy Anderson journey is that I think for years I was working out too hard and it was creating more harm than good. And I am so thankful that I have the Tracy Anderson method in my life. My body is much healthier for it. My mental health is much healthier for it. And however I can support people to stay on the journey, because there are ups and downs, I'm happy to do. But just because I prefer her old content doesn't mean that everybody will. So I thought it'd be worth just evaluating the two really quickly so that if you want to think through that, you can. I am still so glad that I went to her old content, restarted with Metamorphosis Abcentric, continued on to continuity. I will keep on giving updates, but for now, wanted to bring some clarity around this question, which is better. Really comes down to a personal preference. As you can tell, I'm really happy with where I'm at right now, but it's still a journey, just like anything else. So with that, I would be curious, which do you prefer? Have you tried both Metamorphosis and Online Studio? Have you gotten into continuity? Are you considering it? Would love to know in the comments below. As for every video, really appreciate you watching, and I hope to see you next time.